Hey ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, comic fans of all sorts from all around the world. Troy David Phillips here at Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about two of my favorite works from one of my favorite creators. Now, I have many favorite creators and we've talked about some of them in previous episodes. In this one, I'm going to talk a little bit about the works of Matt Wagner. Matt Wagner, if you have never met him, is a stellar gentleman, loves meeting his fans, great guy to talk to, very intelligent, very well-spoken, very, very talented. Two of the things that he did in the 1980s, which were almost life-changing, they were so good. One of them was Grendel, a character that first appeared in the Comico Primer, second issue of Comico Primer, in fact. Grendel was the story of Hunter Rose. Hunter Rose was a crime lord in a fictitious city. He had become the lord and master of organized crime, somewhat brutal, somewhat violent. He was one of my earlier anti-heroes, actually. Grendel spawned a series of sequels. From Hunter Rose eventually adopted a young girl and she became his protege and inheritor of the legacy, Christine Spar. Christine Spar found herself in a battle with a Japanese vampire whom she eventually triumphed over, but Christine met her end somewhat violently. She was succeeded by her boyfriend, Brian Ling. Brian also met his death rather abruptly, but this was the nature of the story. The stories were less about the actual characters wearing the mask and carrying the weapon. It was more about these characters' obsessions and how their obsessions drove and then ultimately destroyed them. It was a brilliant piece, psychologically thrilling, excellent characterization, beautiful artwork, whether it was Matt Wagner, whether it was the Pander brothers, whomever it was that Matt Wagner picked to draw the book for him. It was great. There is a point where the story comes back somewhat circularly. We get through the successors. You may in fact remember things like Grendel Warchild. But we come back to the life of Hunter Rose in a series of prequel stories. One of my favorite is Grendel Red, White, and Black. You should definitely check that one out. Devil by the Deed, The Devil's Legacy, and so on. The word devil is featured very prominently in the story arcs. And again, the stories are really more about the characters' obsessions. Not just the main character, but the obsessions of the people trying to hunt down Grendel. Whether they be policemen, private investigators, newspaper journalists, what have you. Obsession is a key theme in Grendel. Definitely check those out. Try to find the collected, reprinted versions from Comico or whomever, actually Image Comics, whomever is reprinting them, get those things, get them together, sit down and read them. You will not be disappointed.